Apple CEO Tim Cook blaming China for slowing iPhone sales, but is it really the company's failure to innovate fast enough that's to blame? Here with us to discuss is tech expert Lance Ulanoff. So, Lance, what do you think about that? Is it more than just China that's going on here?
Well, a lot of people are talking about, are iPhones simply too expensive? You know, the price is now, starts at $1,000. It's over $1,000 if you want the XS Max. And, they're in a sea of very similar devices. Even though inside the iPhone 10 and 10s is a better device, a more powerful device than many of the other phones out there, all the Android phones out there, they all look the same, and they're so much cheaper than what iPhone is offering. And understand that Apple's growth in the iPhone market was outside the U.S. I mean, that's really where they would point to quarter after quarter, insane growth in China and other emerging markets, and suddenly the rug got pulled out from under them. I've got to say, I read Tim Cook's note, and one of the things that really jumped out at me is that it sounded like they were caught off guard with they had so many products that they were selling this quarter and that they weren't ready on the supply side. Now, Tim Cook is the master of supply, demand, delivery, manufacturing. That's his skill set. And it just sounded a little bit like they were caught flat-footed, and that's just so unlike Apple.
I don't know. I mean, once you build your campus in the shape of the Death Star, it always seems like a bad omen to me. But Lance, seriously speaking, though, if you think about Apple's trajectory, everybody knows that being a device manufacturer, there's going to be a slowing of that. And the services side of the business is certainly the sexier, more sustainable side of the business. They have a tremendous ecosystem that they haven't leveraged. Why do you think they have been so slow to leverage this tremendous ecosystem and that services piece of the business?
Well, I've got to say, if you read that letter, you know that services was the bright spot. And it has been a bright spot for quarter after quarter. It's been growing like crazy. Nothing like annuities to keep a business churning. And, what's happening to everybody? I bet every single one of you has an iCloud account that you're putting more and more money into because you keep running out of space because we have these phones with these big files. It is a great business for them. They haven't done enough maybe to bring all the services together and make a better deal and get more people under the umbrella. But that's going to be a good story for them going forward. The question is, what is Apple going to do to fill the gap now? As iPhone sales, handset sales flatten out and maybe start to go down, what is going to fill the gap? Is it going to be AirPods? They're not expensive enough to fill the gap, so they need something more. Is it the Apple Watch? That's a possibility. They've done really well with that. But the big question for me is, what's coming next? What are the next big innovative products?
Lance, I'm going to put my $130 iBud in while I ask you this question. I think this is the problem, actually. This is where I think a lot of tech analysts in Wall Street is making a mistake with this company. Where's the innovation? You lost Steve Jobs. Where's the next whiz-bang gadget you can charge $1,000 for? Microsoft is now a more valuable company again than this company. I would say one of the least innovative companies in the history of tech. And yet why? And it's not, I mean, besides the Surface Pro, I mean, really, and I'll tell you why. It's because they built a monopoly to businesses with the Office and Windows and operating systems, and that is a regulation-free business. That's why that company's gotten away forever with the government leaving them alone, because they're squeezing this building for thousands of installs and for Excel files you can't open that someone sends you on a subscription basis. Apple built a luxury brand to the retail consumer. They never really became a monopoly to a business. And is that finally, as whims are changing, people don't want $1,000 phones around the world. Now they're really, you see, even though it's the most successful company of all time, now they're really in a weak place, unlike Microsoft.
Well, number one, Microsoft was not left alone by the government. Go back to like 1999 when
they copied Apple and got away with it with the operating system.
But they certainly were. But yeah, I mean, Apple has been sort of it has the cachet. The first iPhone, which 10 years of the iPhone driving incredible revenue, and they need to have that again. They do need the next big product. Is it going to be a car? Is it going to be the TV? Is it going to be something, AR glasses? Is it going to be Apple Studios with just a pure content play? I don't really know, but I think that the pressure is now on Apple in 2019 to show its hand in one of these areas, even if it isn't ready to deliver. They have to excite people. The other products are going to grow. They're going to do fine, but they've got to fill the gap that's going to grow bigger as the iPhone starts to trend down somewhat.
Well, Lance, Tim Cook has always been known as a guy who can make the trains run, but not the guy who creates the trains in the first place. And do they have anything in their hand? It sounds like they've just been making improvements, nice improvements, on the stuff they have. But let's get real. Television, that's been around for decades. Watches, hundreds of years. You can schmaltz them up, but that's not a breakthrough like an iPad or an iPhone, taking an old gadget and really making a great leap forward technologically. Apple,
well,
it seems there's not the Johnny Ive kind of creation that you had under Steve Jobs, where you had intense creativity. I don't see that in Apple today.
So first of all, keep in mind that the iPhone was obviously not the first, cell phone that you carried around. We had all of these feature phones right up until the iPhone, which basically said we don't need buttons, we have a full touch screen. So he took an idea and he revolutionized it, turned it around a corner. He did the same thing with MP3 players, which existed before the iPod came along. Now with the watch, I know you say watches have been around forever, but that market was dying. People stopped wearing watches because they were carrying around phones. Now the Apple Watch is like the best-selling watch in the world, and that is a product that came after Steve Jobs. It's really from the team that Tim Cook has built. I'm not going to deny that Tim Cook is not a product visionary like Steve Jobs. I don't see that. But there are people within Apple who are working on new, fresh products that I think are going to excite people.
Lance, this is Christina Partsinevelos here. To your point about the watches, you're seeing overall sales of watches down. So yes, Apple's dominating in that sense. I really don't think the AirPods are going to go anywhere. I think the focus should be on how they're going to monetize 5G technology with the vehicle, all of that interconnectivity. But to me, that's a major opportunity for them. A lot of pressure, though, is going to be on the services business in the interim. But I have a question for you in regards to the investor world. You've got a company right now seeing the stock plummet, taking down a lot of suppliers as well. Do you hold on to this stock heading into earnings? And especially the fact that they have about $130 billion cash on hand, according to Cook. So I would think, hey, he may use that money towards buying back, inflating the price, maybe some dividends. So what's your thought on that?
Well, I know he wants to become, cash negative. Basically, they want to get rid of all that cash, put it into the business, buy other businesses. I've often said that I never bet against Apple, but I'm also not an investor. I don't have any investment in any tech company because of what I've been doing over the years, talking to tech companies. And I try not to advise people on whether or not to buy stocks. But I will say that if you look at Apple and you look at their history, it's not a company you bet against. Yeah. This is an unusual thing that's happened to them. First time they've had a correction where they've talked about 15 years. But the top of it talked about the billions of dollars they had earned this quarter. Billions, not millions, billions of dollars. This is still obviously a very strong company, a very good business. And I feel like personally, this is a blip.